Hey, my wonderful divine masculine Pisces placements. How you doing? How you doing? I know last month it seemed like you were in a pretty dark place, okay? I know I'm running late on this upload. It's the 13th. I'm sorry it was late. But I will say this month for you, it feels like you had a big breakthrough, or you did last month and the beginning of this month. When I was channeling for you, it was like silly energy, like someone maybe like at a sack race or like at a carnival or like just playful energy where you're like maybe just had this big awakening and breakthrough and you're just like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And so I love that for you, like that childlike energy, where it feels silly but it also feels mature. Like it feels like you're balancing out that like difference between like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna like be goofy to get like attention versus no, I can be playful and silly and still mature. Do you know what I mean? Like we all have to balance out what that is, like when we can really tap in with that, but then also tap in with our mature side. And I feel like that's balancing for you. You're realizing, wow, I was maybe way too immature and like blah blah blah, and now I'm like rebalancing in some way. So I don't know, with my hands too, like you might just be feeling more expressive, even like artwork or music or something like that. I love that for you. Okay, I love that for you. We are going to recap what happened earlier this month. I think that's important. 121 as I say that. Also pay attention to repeating numbers or number sequence patterns you are seeing. Very, very critical to you right now, I feel like this month, or maybe it has been recently for you. Keep tapping in with that. So, at the beginning of the month, we had Venus and Scorpio opposite Uranus and Taurus on November 5th. And so this Scorpio energy, it loves meaningful, intense connections. It can be kind of like, I'm going all in. But it is fixed. And so for many of you, excuse me, you might be craving that, but you're not like communicating it yet, right? Like there's a block there with your throat chakra still. And you're just like, oh my God, what do I do? What do I do, right? That's kind of the feeling of earlier this month. You might be having more dreams or clarity about who you believe your person to be, the high priestess here, your intuition. You might be following more. But also, I feel like there's this sense of hopelessness because you're like, wait, oh shoot, was it that person? It was that person. Oh shoot. And you're kind of like, what do I do? Like they're the high priestess. They're so intuitive. Shoot. Do they know everything? What do they know? Like there's like kind of this panic. And so you've got to let go of that. You've got to decide more clearly, if this is my person, do I want it? And if I want it, what action am I going to take? Okay, because we still have Uranus retrograde in Taurus till January 22nd. It's been there since August 23rd. And this is making finances a little bit harder for people, careers harder for people. A lot of masculine energy trying to jump careers really fast, or can't figure out why they're having to work longer hours or harder, it seems. And that's because they're not providing emotional truth, right? Like, so emotions, communication, sexual energy, money, it's all like this post you're seeing, it's all energy, right? So how we give back and what we do matters, right? So like if you subscribe to this, you're giving back in some way, right? And it's the same with you. If you're only focused on money, but you're not giving back emotionally to family, friends, lovers, then you're going to really, really struggle in this energy. And so this energy is also asking you to kind of rethink partnerships and finances. What might that look like? What would a healthy partnership look like? I know many of you masculines, many of you are very protective over your money because in the past, you might have had partners or had parents or people like that where you saw a feminine energy take advantage of financial resources or not provide for themselves. And so it's very triggering for you. You're like, I don't know. But yet you still do want to provide in some way. This is about balance, about having a partner that can provide for themselves and you provide for yourself. But that also requires you be someone who can communicate emotional truth as well as the other person. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like both energies have to embody both. And you need to focus on you doing that and not focus on the other person. Well, are they, did they, are you sure? No, focus on you first and you communicating truth and you communicating honesty. And then you will start to see if that other person is in the same energy, okay? Two of Wands here. Look to the future right now. Look to the future. I feel like that's what you're trying to do. And yeah, there might be some energy from your past creeping in. You need to decide, do I want it to go with me to my future or not? Did I manifest this? Do I want it or not? That's how we got to look. And also look to the future around money. Like, I feel like many of you are in careers or industries that maybe kind of thinking big outside the box when it comes to that. But we'll move forward because there's a lot more to discuss. On the 8th, we had Mercury moving into Scorpio. Again, that craving a deeper connection in conversation and things like that. The full moon and lunar eclipse happened in Taurus. A lot of people heard about that one, right? You might have felt that energy big time energetically in your physical body, maybe feeling tired, or just like dream state, really activating, things like that. And so, yeah, like there's this feeling too of like the Chariot reversed with the Queen of Wands. It's like, I just feel like you're so stalled out when it comes to a feminine energy. And this could be someone you're currently with, like, but yeah, the Lovers reversed, yeah, it's toxic. Like, I feel like you can't decide, but there's someone you're with that's like sexy and attractive and like everything else, but like on paper it might make sense, but it's not balanced. The Lovers reversed, like, I don't think, yeah, I was gonna say finances are not balanced here, give and take is not balanced, sexual energy, like this person's not giving you what you need, and maybe you're not giving that to them. And sometimes you get in that state, divine masculine, where it's like this feeling of like, well, I kind of like buy stuff for them or pay for stuff, and then they sleep with me, and or maybe that person's doing this to you as like a karmic cycle. Tap in here, tap in, because yeah, you're about to be energetically depleted. If you are still in a karmic connection that you know is not divinely guided, and you have not broken that off, oh boy, you are going to feel so drained. This person, they could just be mindful, okay? Especially before you go sharing finances or creating a baby or something like that, okay? Yeah, it's like you have victory if you can pull back, but it's interesting. Not a lot of my masculine reads have had that. So yeah, it's like, I don't know. We'll see. Let's dive into some more cards. But on November 19th of 2020, okay, so we have the full moon that happened this year on the 8th, a few days ago, right? But on November 19th, we had the first in a 3-part series. And it culminates on October 28th, 2023. So ask yourself, where were you on November 19th, 2020, right? A lot of us coming out of a dark place, kind of after COVID lockdowns, still in that weird energy, trying to decide if we were happy in our relationships, our careers, how the new, planet situation, what was going to happen, right? A lot of energy then. Then it skipped a year, right? A lot still happened between them. So now there's this big breakthrough moment. And now the universe is like, okay, here it comes. The culmination of this on the 23rd, or 2023, October 28th, 2023. So right now, a year from now, you will be a totally different person, happy and free, and living your best life if you've pulled and gone inward and really gone into isolation to feel the energy. And I know you want to be silly and fun and like run around and like hang out, and that's great. But again, that maturity of like, is this really my person? And if you're not 1,000% sure, you need to pull back. You need to pull back. And don't go ghosting them. Just tell them the truth. I need to pull back from this connection. And tell them the truth. And not just like some basic healing mode. Tell them the truth. If you're going to go hook up with other people, go tell them that. If you're going to go into healing mode because you're not sure, then tell them, I'm going to healing mode. I'm not going to be with anyone, but I don't want to date right now, and I'm going to do my thing. You're free to move on. Do not keep them guessing, okay? This isn't that. You have to be crystal clear. If you want them to, quote, wait on you, you better be clarifying that you're not in another connection, okay? I know you don't want to hear that, but that's the truth. So anyways, it's like an earthquake. I know. That's what's been occurring this month. You got to take an action. And if you're still feeling uncomfortable, it's because you have not released. Maybe you haven't released fear. Maybe you haven't released this connection. Maybe you haven't released sexual imbalance. Like really tap in with that, okay? Because many of you, the universe is trying to unlock like massive third eye activation, dreams, crown chakra activation for you, divine masculine. But if you're wrapped up in that other energy, you're not going to get there. You're not going to get there. You're going to feel so stalled out, okay? Because these eclipses reveal and conceal. So you're starting to see some truth in some way, but you're also still feeling really stuck. And that's because you're not being honest with yourself, okay? This is about you being honest with you and taking the focus off of everybody else, all right? This Uranus, by the way, there was this feeling I just want to point out too of like, Are we taking things for granted? Like, this is revolutionary energy of change. A lot of people are awakening quickly to a new way of existing, right? New earth, these new frequency shifts that is occurring as we ascend Mama Gaia. This is happening. Planet Earth is ascending consciousness, and it's a real trip, okay? But it's going to be okay. You just need to reground and make sure that you're not going way out there, head in the clouds, too crazy. Make sure, when we talk about dream state, especially if you don't drink or smoke before bed, you ask for clear dreams. That's great. You're going to start to get clarity. But I'm not saying you can never dip into other, drugs and things like that people use. But you really need to follow your intuition. Because many of you, I just feel like Aquarius, Pisces, and I was saying Cancer this month, are being pushed or tempted, or others are maybe like, no, do this again. Or you had one good experience and now you're like, I'm going to do it again and again and again. That will mess with you. You will literally experience spiritual psychosis. I talk to people where this gets to a point where they're seeing really dark things suddenly come out of images of people that they know that they love and this and that. And I would be very mindful. Use your discretion. I am not telling you what to do. But it feels like a big theme, especially within masculine energy, of they think this is going to help heal them or aid them. And again, they're turning to outside things for confirmation of what they already know instead of going inward and finding that validation on their own. Because if you believe you need these substances in order to know who your person is or to awaken, that is needing validation from an outside source. Okay? You can get all the validation you need going inward with the universe. Praying, meditating, just asking how to channel the energy, working intuitively with yourself. So I feel like many of you need to pull back from like any other way you're trying to get clarity or seek your spiritual awakening, okay? I'm happy to discuss any of this on a client call if you'd like. gingermama.com. I offer personals and we can talk, but for some of you, this feels very, very critical. Like, be very mindful of what comes in, and especially if you're using those substances, because I'm not trying to judge. Some people are really going off the deep end with this, and they need to be mindful, okay? The 22nd, yeah, it's almost like blocking them from talking or communicating because they're getting confused in that energy. They're like, do I forgive and forget or do I not? And it makes it so you can't make a choice. King of Swords reverse. You can't move forward in your life because you're like, I don't know which way to go. I don't know. I better do this again and again and again. And then you get stuck in a cycle, and by the time you figure it out, the other person or the other opportunity or thing is gone. They march their cup of love on because what you should be focused on is emotional truth and vulnerability. All right? So if you can release all that shit earlier in the month, by the 22nd, right before Thanksgiving, we're hitting Sagittarius season. Fire energy, it's mutable. I love this. You're mutable, Pisces. I feel like you're going to feel a lot more of, like we were saying, that playful, silly, like happy energy, but only if you really released. Hear me on this. Because if you did not make a choice, if you are not starting to communicate, speak truth, if you're not going inward or pulling away from connections you know you need to, I'm telling you right now, this will hit you even harder. And if you're being hit harder by the new moon in Sagittarius, that is a sign that you're not doing something you need to be doing. And you need to tap in with that, okay? Your feminine side. Have you provided justice to a feminine in your life that you know was true and compassionate and kind and nurturing and just so sweet, and all they wanted was emotional truth from you? If you did not provide the truth to them or clarity and be like, yeah, I really care about you too. I'm so sorry. I was going through this, and tell them how you feel, you're going to feel weaker and weaker the rest of the month. Don't do that. Don't do that because you want to feel better. You want to feel better, okay? The 29th, we have Mercury in Sagittarius, opposite Mars in Gemini. It sextiles Saturn in Aquarius. This energy is also, it's about this. Like Mars in Gemini energy, some people look at as like darker light or shadier this. It's not, okay? It can be, right? But when it's healed, it can be about duality between the higher realms and the grounded, earth realm, right? Or divine masculine, divine feminine energy within all of us. And so I feel like the universe is asking you to communicate in some way. But here's the thing. If you go breadcrumbing, Page of Pentacles, if you're just like, yeah, oh, sorry about that, peace. Or like, oh yeah, hope you're well, happy Thanksgiving. Because I feel like that's what half of you are going to do. You'll just be like, here's a little Thanksgiving turkey text or something stupid. Yeah, you're not awoke yet. You're not even close. You're not speaking truth. And if you do that, your finances are going to be hit even harder. 10 of Pentacles reversed. I mean, I'm telling you right now. Like, I feel like this is going to be a direct thing. If you go in trying to, you don't release, you don't do the thing, your finances through December and January are going to get much harder for you. And Mars and Gemini could be a great time to communicate, but many people are not going to view you as authentic, especially if you're reaching out to someone and just saying, yeah, look, Ace of Pentacles, hand of God confirming. If you want the coin, if you want the happily ever after with money, you better start getting emotionally honest. Because I feel like the universe is about to lay the smack down. If you think you can like send some stupid meme, and I'm not saying memes aren't funny at times, but if you think at this level that you have some divine counterpart in this connection and you can send a stupid meme and be like, oh yeah, I missed you, oh yeah, how's your turkey? No, you're not mature, you're not leveling up, you're not aligning. Yeah, ding on my phone. Because if that's the thing I get, I'm just going to be block. Like, whoa, like it's a turnoff. They don't want you if you're doing that shit. I mean, really. And this idea that you think they're going to wait on you, just be mindful. Also, some of you travel kind of seems significant. Maybe you're traveling for the holidays. I don't know. Maybe that'd be good for you. Maybe that'd be good for you, Pisces. I feel like you should. Yeah. If you're planning travel, travel. Travel for the holidays, okay? Maybe you were back and forth about that. No, you should. And I don't know, maybe you're wanting to travel with someone you really love and care about, and maybe you should communicate that or invite them along. My crown going wild. But yeah, because a lot of times I'll say don't, but this feels like a definite yes. If you're thinking about traveling with someone you love and care about, go for it. See what happens. All right, be bold and make the first move, but it's reversed. You are afraid to make the first move. Where does that come from? No, we're going to be bold. We're going to do it. So it's going to make you feel better. The answers you need are coming, reversed. It's like you're waiting on another sign that this is it. This is your sign. You know this. You know this. In your gut, in your heart, you know it. And you're not going to, the universe, this is about trust and faith in your own intuition. You're very close to achieving your goal. Again, this financial piece or whatever else it is you're working on and or this relationship, like you have it if you take the action towards it. Emotions are running high and this is reversed. I feel like many of you are worried these feminines are going to explode with, too much emotion. You're not going to know what to do or cry or whatever. You guys, or maybe you're worried you're going to be like that. It's all okay. They're balancing out. You're balancing out. We can have balanced emotional encounters. Okay, guys? Like, it's okay to show some emotion. But yeah, your commitment is being tested and it's reversed. It's like the universe knows you've been committed to your journey. You've been doing a lot of work. But there's this feeling right now of you really need to make sure you're taking those action steps as we close out the month. Okay, Pisces? You got this. I love all of you. I will see you back next month. I'm on TikTok. I'm on Instagram and gingermama.com if you want a personal reading.